Patriot Viper VPR100 1TB opinion. Well, we have to admit, the VPR100 surprised me a little after we started our testing. We knew what it was rated to do, but if we being honest, my experience with Viper drives is that they normally perform well, but not completely at the top of the market. Making up the difference with their pricing and features like the heatsink on the VPN100 that we previously reviewed. In a lot of the tests we ran, the VPR100 was fast, very fast, outperforming even the SN750 at times and the PKI 4.0 based MP600 in a few tests as well. We also really do like the looks of the drive with the RGB lighting on. The software was simple and to the point as well, although we think integration with software like ASUS's or lighting control is even more important if you are trying to get consistent lighting from your SSD, motherboard, video card, and even fans and case lighting. There were still a few downsides to the VPR100 that we ran into. A small detail but one that we think they should be considering with drives like this is the PCB color. Going with a blue PCB works well with the WD blue drive because blue is the goal, but with the VPR100 they were going with a blacked out heatsink. Having the blue peek through, even just a little, seems like an afterthought. That heatsink is also not going to fit in some situations. This is on top of the issues that having a heatsink at all will cause you, eliminating laptops and not being able to use it on the back of motherboards that have M.2s on the back. But the width of the heatsink was wider than the M.2 drive, and even when not using the built-in heatsink in our Crosser motherboard, it was too tight on the bottom slot, forcing me to swap things around. The biggest issue, however, is that when running the RGB lighting, the performance does drop. They say you can expect 20% to 30% less in performance, and at least in my testing, it was inconsistent with when it might drop. Given that the RGB lighting is the main feature, it is a bummer to see some of that performance cut right off the top, especially with how fast the drive is without the lighting. Of course, because of that, it is still fast enough for most people with the lighting on. Of course, the pricing makes a big difference in SSDs, and we will say that the VPR100 coming in at $189.99 initially seemed like a great deal. When looking more into other prices, we did find a comparable RGB SSD with the added XPG S40G, which can be picked up in the 1TB capacity for $150. The WD Black SN750 without heatsink is also available at 1TB for around $150 as well, making the VPR100 a touch high in its pricing but less than drives like the Samsung 970 EVO. So hopefully we see the pricing come down slightly to match the competition. Because otherwise, the VPR100 is right there. The XPG version even has similar performance issues in conjunction with the lighting.